Welcome to the Nevermind Adventure Tours podcast live from Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin, Ireland.
With John Ruth and Matt. And a pint of Guinness. And what are you drinking again?
Jameson. Might have to have another one before long. This Irish whiskey is so sweet, beautiful, delicious. And after 3 or 4 of them, you don't even know where you are.
Well, I've seen John go from a 4X drinker to a Guinness drinker about halfway through the trip. Who introduced a double shot Dino?
Double shot Dino.
Introduced him to the local Jamesons.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a beer in your hand since.
Just after he described why you needed a bum gun to drink Guinness. Look at me pirate friend here, eh? He looks like he just hopped off the boat.
Yeah, it was sinking.
He suggested maybe you should drink Jamos for a while, and I have been, and it's been beautiful.
In Dublin, end of the trip, so we dropped the bikes back in Adair and bus trip back to Dublin. Now we've checked into the Beckett Lock Hotel, my mistake. And we're starting to think about parting ways.
Yes, which is a very, very sad thought. It's a funny time in the trip because when you're on the trip, it feels like it's going forever. You know, it's all you know, the people you're with, you're having breakfast with them, you're seeing them for a beer afterwards, you're riding with them all day. It consumes you in a way, doesn't it? You know,
it's a lifetime.
It's a lifetime.
I'm going to sound like a broken record here because I think I've said this on a previous podcast, but I feel like that 2 weeks is a lifetime. It's like at the start, you're all excited, you know, you're the young, you know, teenager, you know, discovering the world, and you're like, wow, new people, new friends.
That's it.
And then like by halfway through, you're like, wow, this is going on forever. You know, it just goes on and on and on. And then you get to that last day or two and you're like, oh my God, it's coming. You get this bittersweet. You're excited to get home, but you're also sad to leave the people we've met and the country we've come to know so well.
I know, and it's, you know, and we did get to know it really well. I think that is the incredible thing, because you're on a motorbike. You always experience everything in your face, don't you? Oh, you know, it's always right in your face. The smells, the air, everything that's happening, it's right there, it's intense. Ireland is as intense as it gets.
And this is true. I'll just quickly run through where we've been.
Yeah.
And feel free to jump in, John. I've done this trip a few times, so this is not your first visit to Ireland, but your first motorcycle
trip around Ireland.
And you bought the handbrake.
Yep.
Kaz over there, and
yep. And it's not her first trip. She lives close to this, well, she did till she was 13. She lived just over the water in Holyhead in Wales.
And you rode a 650 Meteor Royal Enfield.
I rode a 650 Meteor. It was the, what do you call it? It's not like the chopper, but it's
a cruiser.
Cruiser, you know.
It's a cruiser.
Had forward pegs, which was really nice. You know, I don't have very long legs, but they were stretched out. And Kaz had about 9 miles a seat, you know. She only needed about 6 miles a seat.
I actually haven't ridden one yet, but I know you're a big fan of the Virago. And I look at them, and to me, they remind me of the Virago.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, but a improved version.
Oh, mate, no. There's no chrome plastic on a Royal Enfield, not that I'm aware of anyway. No, I had nothing against the Virago. It was just the way they sliced the frame at the crucial double frame point to move the side stand to a slightly cooler position. You know, stuff like that can worry you about a motorbike, but anyway, look, that's a long time ago.
We could get onto the Street 500s if you want to start talking about shit cruisers. But, anyway, let's move on. So that was the bike you had. I was driving the sport van on this trip, something very different for me. Great experience. I got to spend a lot of time with Barb, Frankie's mum, who left Ireland in 1972 and has never been back. And so Frankie and I, everyone knows who Frankie is.
That was so nice, hey, you know, like
beautiful.
Frankie basically, with a lot of help from Matt, shouted Barb the trip. Barb told me she never would have come back to Ireland for a variety of reasons, you know, but probably financial and time as much as anything. And then someone gives you half a reason and bingo.
Yeah.
You know, and then you guys shouted at the trip, man. That's beautiful.
It was an amazing experience to hear her story. So I'm really privileged to do that. We had the new 450 Himalayans.
Yes.
We had
awesome.
a Bullet,
Wow.
the new Bullet 350. Yep. We had, what else we have? We had a classic 350 as well.
Yep.
Just a bit of a mix, mainly Himalayans, I think.
We had two of the 650s.
And the Interceptor. Yep.
Yeah, and the
JT,
Interceptor. Yeah,
big Johnny Tomlin over there in the background. He was on the 650.
Perfect bike for a man who spent most of his life riding bikes that are way too fast. Look, the thing about these bikes, you know, put it in a nutshell, right? If you're thinking Himalayan like the first ones, forget it. It's an all-new bike. It shares the name and a few other characteristics, but I think it's got nearly twice the horsepower, certainly got about twice the suspension, and I was watching the guys go past on them. They're quick. They're a very quick, stable bike, perfect for Ireland. The Meteor, perfect two-up bike, you know. Plenty of seat. It's a whole lot slower, but it's got good brakes and torquey engine. You don't have to worry about anything. You just putt along. It's. I don't think I'd want to do Ireland on anything much quicker than those, mate. They have more than enough muscle for
everyone
me.
knows I'm a fan of Royal Enfield, and I'm not sponsored by them, you know, but not yet, anyway, if you're listening. But that new 350 engine is better than the old 500 classic, I reckon. I reckon it's got just as much grunt.
Well, I've seen Hunter in the air on one a few times on this trip.
Is that right? He's standing behind the camera there. So.
Oh, look, he was just practicing.
That's my son, if anyone's asking. He's the new apprentice.
Yeah, and he's already a very, very skilled motorcyclist. Let's hear it for Hunter.
He did a great job sweeping up the last few days on the trip, actually.
Job on the trip.
Very proud of my son, actually.
Yeah, you should be, mate. He handled it really well.
I think so. Like I said, I'll run through where we've been. So we flew into Dublin and we stayed down south at the Fitzpatrick Castle.
Great accommodation, night one. Whoa, a castle, like a
300 years old.
Wow. This is the way to start a trip, isn't it? Fitzpatrick Castle Hotel. Running around sort of, you know, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir.
Yep.
Not used to that. It was beautiful.
It's shame that Dungeon Bar wasn't open.
I think it's probably a good thing, mate.
So we from there we just jumped on the bus and went down to Limerick. Yep. We had a night in Limerick and then we jumped on the bikes the next day. I've even got a story from that day. Like the adventure started then because we got back to the hotel in the central Limerick, and Limerick's a tricky place to get around. All one-way streets. It was a Saturday and it was quite busy, and there was some festivals on and stuff, and we lost a rider. We got back, we're one down. We're like, oh, this is interesting, and I knew who it was. Yeah. I rang said rider's phone. And I heard the phone ring.
Should we mention who the rider was?
Not yet. Not yet.
Righto. Okay.
Because you're
waiting for him to go to the bar.
This bloke's a legend. Like and everyone's like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do?" And I'm like, "Don't worry, he'll be fine. This has happened. This bloke's done the Himalayas with me. I've known him for a long time. He's done Sri Lanka, and he now he's done Ireland. First day, he goes missing.
That's right.
Leaves his phone in his backpack. We're unloading the bags. Phone's ringing.
Yeah.
And so
no
obviously,
phone, no wallet.
He's gone.
Just him on the bike.
How are you going to find him?
Yeah. How are you going to find him?
I think I could hear some thick voices. Hello to the world.
Anyway.
There you go.
Time we've had.
This story is amazing. So this is Al. First day, and he always brings the adventure to the adventure.
What'd you do, Al, to get out of that one?
I spoke to the barman. His name was Willie, and he was ever so helpful. I said, I have no wallet. I said, I'll give you the keys to the bike. If I can't pay my bill, have the bike.
He didn't have a wallet on him.
Didn't have the wallet.
Or a phone.
Bad traveller, I've learned since then, but it didn't matter. It was only a matter of time, and the pickup was there. And
they had to pick up the bike too, didn't they? It was just enough time to scram down a couple of hundred Guinness.
There's a bit more to this story, actually, that I found out yesterday that I haven't told anyone about yet. But so Big Al's gone, all right, I've lost the group. What do? Go to the nearest pub, because he knows I know how he thinks. And I go, right, he'll be at a pub somewhere. There's 135 pubs in Limerick, right? So I thought, he's got to be in one of these pubs. And next minute, my mobile phone rings on WhatsApp, and it's one of my contacts in Limerick that knows the guy that owns the pub. And Al's in there, and he's like, I've got this Australian guy, and he's going, oh, I know. Oh, he looked at the bikes. He goes, oh, yep, you all know
Royal
this bloke.
Enfield.
That bloke's rang me. The bar owner's, I'm on the phone to him. He was a classic, wasn't he? He's like, I've got you bloody Australians. You're all the same. And anyway, we've located him. And I thought, oh, you beauty, you know, no dramas, and sent Bill off to go pick him up. They come back, no dramas, all good. But we get back in yesterday and we drop our bikes off, and my bike guy goes, he goes, what happened on the first day? And I'm going, well, you know what happened. Big Al got lost and went to the pub, and he goes, oh, that pub owner was really cranky with me. I go, well, he was lovely to me. He goes, he rang me up and he goes, what kind of operation are you running? He goes, day one, the guys are bloody 5Ks from the bike shop and
they're lost.
And you've lost one. And had a crack at him.
Wow.
And I said, no, he was fine to us. So, yeah, I said, no, it's all good, mate. So there you go.
I've got something to add while I'm hanging here because I'm about to leave the toilet, but the Irish people are so proud, and they've got the cleanest country. The paddocks are so green. You're the fattest cattle and happiest animals you'd ever see. There's no shortage of feed. It's so green. The trees and everything over here is just, you've got everything you could imagine to see that's priceless.
How was the riding?
They're the proudest people and the happiest people in the bars, and the twisties everywhere. Well, Matt always provides an awesome ride wherever he be, but this is I couldn't. Ireland, what a place to be. Thank you.
Thanks. Favourite place, favourite stop.
Yeah. Give me a minute to think.
All right, come back come back to that. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
So that's day one, and we've got another 12 days ahead of us. So we took up the coast the next day.
Yep.
Kilkee for lunch.
Donny Gold.
Okay. He always comes up with the goods, that bloke.
He does, doesn't he?
If you book a trip, request to go on one with Big Al. You're in for a good time. So we went up to Galway, but the long way around, up the coast. Zigzagging up the coast, we went through the Connemara, then up through to Kilkee for lunch, which is a beautiful little seaside village.
Someone should say that. We've been on motorways for maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours out of the whole 2 weeks. That'd be right, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
and a
it's
handful
not much,
of times, well, the bus trip, obviously, and then there was a handful of times we were on B roads, I guess you'd call them. The rest of the time we've been on back roads, which is why it's so intense.
Well, what I say is, and I've got this probably on our website, I remember writing this somewhere, if God was a motorcyclist and he was creating a country for bikers, Ireland would probably be it's just that west, particularly the west coast, it was designed for motorcyclists.
Yeah. Look, if you're wondering what it's like and you're a motorcyclist, you've probably seen a bit of Isle of Man footage, right? Well, the Isle of Man race is, 32 miles around a well-sealed road on the Isle of Man, which is just over that way. It's not far away, and it's just basically a smaller version of Ireland. So when you come to Ireland, and I'm not suggesting you crack the speed limit everywhere, that's not really a good idea. In fact, they tend to be, you come out and there's an 80km/h sign, and you look at it and you think, oh, I'm going to be bloody lucky to get up to 50 on this road, and then you'll find a stretch where you can do 80, but they're very liberal, just like they're very liberal with their police. I think I've seen one camera car.
Well, Big Al,
time?
that's his favourite thing about this country. He goes, the cops are there's none.
No potholes, no potholes.
No potholes, no cops.
No police. And no shortage of rock.
Big Al likes to break the rules sometimes. I'm not going to lie about it. Just occasionally, we all make mistakes.
Riding conditions, even in the winter.
None of us got a ticket. None of us got in trouble. But you can't really. The roads are quiet. They're winding. They're single lane. They're just beautiful. So we had days worth of Isle of Man experience, and I tell you what,
And I was talking with one of the guys on the trip, Peter, who he had Woody along, and they
Pete and
were
Woody?
on Pete and Woody. Hi, Pete and Woody.
They were on a 650 Meteor as well.
Can you? Yeah,
come around the back.
They were on the other 650 Meteor, so we were sort of pacing each other a fair bit, and it was incredible because Pete's favourite moment on the whole trip. Is he there?
Yeah, he's coming.
He's coming. There
Oh my
they
God!
are.
Surprise visit.
Oh, surprise visit.
Meet the crew.
Hey, Peter.
Yay.
Favourite or biggest experience on the whole trip?
Oh, that's hard to nail it down to one. I love that winding, soft, frequent corners, and we came across the both sides of the walls road was lined with purple rhododendrons.
Oh, wasn't that
that was
nice?
coming into near Cork, so we went to Blarney, and you guys come over the ridge.
Heading up over the ridge,
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was spectacular.
It was a tunnel of
Love.
what is it? Lilac.
Love, we
Tunnel
call
of
it.
love.
Yes.
Lavender. Is it lavender?
The riding, Woody. Mention the riding.
Yeah, Woody.
What about the ride into Dingle? That was pretty impressive.
Oh, now come on.
So it was a little tricky staying actually on the bike.
So
We copped a bit of wind.
we copped some rain and some wind, and this is after what 6, 7, 8 days of sunshine.
Yeah.
We had to get something. So what did we get? Everything in one day. it just chucked
It's a
it
land of
down.
intensity.
Oh, intense. The winds were 65 kilometres an hour, right? Which sounds, you're on a bit of an angle fighting it.
Yep,
That's not what happened though, was it? It was because actually one of the other guys, JT, he explained it. The wind was getting channeled up the valleys, and then you get a bit of road where there's no fence or something, and it just poured through like a funnel. So 1 minute you got a little bit of wind, and the next minute, bang, whoomper. It was exciting, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I just want to say something about Pete and Woody. Like, I know I've travelled with you quite a bit now, and I look in my mirror when I'm up front, and all I can see is this grin, ear-to-ear grin. These two are the same. I mean, every time I see them, even when it's raining, and we had the last couple of days were a bit rain and cold, big smiles. Best day ever. Loved it. I'm like, they're dripping wet, they're cold, they're freezing. Big smiles,
That's
I was
what
like,
was happening.
it's like that's the Irish experience.
It is the Irish.
Yes.
And we were never uncomfortable, really.
No.
Even those moments when you couldn't see. You had your glasses on under the helmet.
Beautiful people. So,
Wonderful people.
so no,
It was a great trip, thanks.
thank you.
Oh, thanks
Looking
for
forward to
being part of it.
Patagonia. No, it's that's what's made it a great trip.
Yeah,
It's
the people.
part of the people, the group. It's been fantastic. But so from Kilkee, we went up the coast by the cliffs of Moher,
Yep.
Moher, which are famous, quite a touristy destination. We're going past. We thought we may as well have a look.
I got to be dead honest with you, Matt.
Yes, John.
Cliffs of Moher.
Yep.
Okay. Huge build-up. Like a little tiny bit of the Great Australian Bight. You know what I mean? It's like they had about, this much. And, it's lovely. It's different. But honestly...
Well, we're riding past.
I love every part of Ireland.
I'm going to say a swear word here,
What?
not the bad one.
You say get fucked, Jordan?
No, but this is what I say to everyone. I go, right, I explain that to them. I agree with you, but we're riding past, and what kind of asshole would I be if we didn't stop and have a quick look?
Hey, I understand. Because it's just nice, once in the whole trip, to be reminded that Australia's got bigger and better of something. Because we miss out on everything else. The tight roads, the green grass.
The beer.
The fat paddocks, the castles. One of the guys said,
freedom.
I don't want to see another castle. I thought, I want to see as many as I can, because that's one thing we'll never have in Australia,
So we went from there up to Galway. We
Yep.
stayed in the apartment, beachside apartments.
Hang on. Do you know, we've stayed in so many good places. Which one was that?
The
Which sort of-
accommodation's been out of control. Like
Galway.
even blew my mind, actually.
It has
Frankie's
been.
done an amazing job.
Yes, she has.
Apartments they were.
You had a kitchen you were sharing with. Yeah.
That's right. and there was only 7 pubs within 200 metres.
Yeah.
So Karen and I went for a walk, you know, because we want to clock up some steps. We went to the second pub, not the first one.
I believe you've got a Big L story from that night as well. There was pretty much one every day.
It's pretty much a Big L story every day.
Walked up to pizza or something and sat down and
Oh, yeah.
interrupted the locals hitting on the handbrake. Is that right? That's what you told me.
Do you want me to? Can I tell you
Yeah,
the story?
you tell the story.
Okay.
I'm just reminding you.
We found a bench outside, right? Now, I don't think Al's even aware of this, other than the fact that he was there. But we found this bench outside and a table. I don't mean it in that sense, my man. But, you know, Karen said, oh, beauty, look at this, because there's only 3 benches outside the pub. It's pretty busy. And we wanted the view, the pub behind us, the sea in front of us. It's absolutely spectacular. I think it was a Sunday and the sun's going down, you know. So I've gone in to grab us a drink. These 3 Swedish guys come up, you know. One of them's pretty dapper, got his suit coat, his little hat, you know. And he said to Karen, oh, is this bench free? Can I sit with you? You know?
That's French accent.
Oh, whatever. He might have been a Swedish-French guy, I don't care. Anyway, so Karen straight away said to him, no, because that's where my husband's sitting. You can sit there if you want. And he looked a little miffed and he went over and he sat down right next door. And then I came out of the pub armed with a couple of glasses and he sort of shrunk a little bit. Just a little bit. He wasn't a very big man, you know. And I suppose I looked a bit wild and woolly. And I think his balls shrunk just a little bit. And then the next minute, Big Al comes marching down the road with a pizza that's about 4 feet wide, like this, slaps it on the table, sits there, there you go, Jordan. You know? And I'm not kidding, this guy, he just shrunk. He just shriveled up right there on the chair, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we saw him sort of...
I wasn't there, but I heard the story and I think it's brilliant. And if you've probably seen Big Al in the background fooling around here, I don't know. But
that was Kramer.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Like if he pulled up...
He's a big fella. You
wouldn't hit on his missus.
Nah, you'd probably think, who's this bloke? He's got his personal bouncer with him.
Just for a laugh. But no, I wouldn't. But what a gentleman. I mean,
Well, he's
he
a
features a
perfect
lot. So from Galway, we went up to Donegal, Al's favourite place.
Yeah.
And then went down the far northwest coast to, we found a secret little beach, went for a swim.
That's right.
Yep.
What was that called, that beach? It was...
I don't know the name of it. We swam there last year as well.
It had a sign on it. Silver...
No, Silver Strand's the one.
Okay.
You know where Silver Strand's the
next one
famous
along,
one where there was a few people there. It's incredible, but it's about 500 steps to get down there. So we found one we can ride the bikes down to, and no one goes there.
It was beautiful.
It is so beautiful. And the weather. Like, I didn't even put pants on until about day 10. Like, I was just getting around in board shorts and thongs. Yeah.
That's incredible.
I know.
It was incredible. The weather the first week made up for it for a couple of days towards the end, but I reckon that's got to be Ireland, hey, you know?
Yeah, Victoria's the same, Tassie's the same.
Yeah.
It wasn't bitterly cold. It was 14, 15 degrees, you know, up to 25, 26, 27.
I've been wet, haven't been cold.
Yep.
So, and then when you get cold, what do? Well, there's a lot of alternatives. Fires in pubs.
This is what I was saying to Barb. Barb doesn't ride, so Frankie's mum's in the van. She goes, I really feel sorry for the guys on the bikes. I go, Barb, they're loving it.
Yeah.
I go, when they get in and have that hot shower, it's going to be the best experience of their life. And then that first beer around the fire at the pub.
Beauty! Fire's going! The Guinness is cold.
Look, a little bit of weather just sharpens you right up, you know, I mean, and it's not like we're new to it. When I say we, I mean the human race, you know. Most of our history, our huge long history, we lived outdoors. It's only the last sort of couple of thousand years that we bothered putting a roof over our heads, and a lot of us never bothered doing that. Think about the Vikings, you know, in a big open boat on the open sea, the North Sea, in gales and winds and storms and rain and everything else. They sailed around Ireland. That was one of their favourite places. They thought it was warm. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be shy about weather, and it really does sharpen you right up. Oh boy, it was that day when we copped those 65k wins. You know, we got into the pub. Everyone who was on a bike had a grin like this.
I was on a bike, but I had a grin. I did put my window
you
down
put your
for a
window
couple of
down,
minutes.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just to sort
Then
of-
you realise you hadn't put your window down. You put Barb's,
She loved
and
it.
she got a wet elbow.
Yeah.
She would have loved it.
Speaking of Vikings, you've got a bit of Viking heritage. How do you say your name?
You don't.
No, okay, I'll leave that one. I'll leave that story. So it's not my story
No,
to tell.
you can tell. Go on, say it. No, don't actually.
Ruth in Norwegian or Swedish?
Swedish.
Swedish is Ruta.
Swedish.
He's John Ruta.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's it now. You can edit that out, Frankie.
Can you imagine how that used to
That's
be?
how you say it. That's how you say
That's
Ruth
how you
in
say it.
Swedish.
But I mean, it doesn't mean the same thing in Swedish, obviously. Can you imagine when my mates found out in the early days, they'd introduce me to their mums? Mum, this is the Ruta. It wasn't good, honestly. It just wasn't good. The mums would look at you and go, well, he's not staying at my place. Easy.
So
Anyway.
down in the comments, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So from there we went. Where did we stay? We had lunch at that folk village. It
Oh,
felt
that
like
was
the
nice.
edge of the world out there. I love it. It's so remote, and they've got it set up just like it
Yeah.
was 200, 500 years ago. You know?
Little stone cottage, 3 foot thick walls. Actually, that's Ireland. Everywhere's 3 foot thick walls, and thatched roofs. You know, and it was lovely. But the best thing was the people again. They
What
were
about
so
the backdrop?
nice.
The backdrop there is incredible. When you come around that corner and you see those sheer cliffs and you got that little folk village there, you feel like you're at the end of the earth.
And then we went in, and they had that homemade soda bread they make here in Ireland, with hot bowls of soup, and it was superb. You know, once again, senses sharpened out on the bike, big mouthful of salt wind, and you get there and have that soup.
And you know, talking about this ride, we've already missed so much. You know, there was the Castlemore Abbey, Colemore Abbey.
Oh, that's right.
You know, there was the pub lunch stop. There was so much more, but we can't fit it into one podcast. But you just have to come and do it.
Take you 2 hours to do every day just talking about
It
it.
would, yeah. It's every day is just so
So,
much
yeah.
in it. But so we headed
Do
that
it yourself.
day.
Come and do it yourself. Unbelievable.
That day we headed all the way up to the most northern point in Ireland,
That's right.
Malin Head.
Malin Head.
And we stayed in those cottages on the farm stay, basically.
I think I mentioned this in the last
You
podcast.
did, yeah.
That was my favourite place to stay. That pub.
Oh.
You know, you've got sort of imagine little white buildings
Getting shivers down the spine.
and sheep paddocks in between. And one of those little white buildings is the pub. Yeah, it was just incredible.
So we stayed there for a night, and we all said we'd love to stay here for a week, but we've got other places to see.
Which we did.
And so we headed into Northern Ireland via Derry, London Derry, whatever you want to call it. Was there. We stopped there for coffee, and we don't stay there, but I actually really want to go back there and explore because they're just the nicest people. I met these 2 old ladies in the bakery, and they were just waffling on. They were the friendliest, most beautiful people. I've got to go back there.
Yeah, it was nice.
So we kept going. We hit the northeast coast, and we followed that around. It's just a beautiful Great Ocean Road type road that goes all the way into Belfast for hours and hours and hours.
What was that called? That's not the Wild Atlantic Way, is it? That's the other
it's
one.
not. It's just a road.
Just a road, the road.
But it's just these tiny little medieval villages. Just this road that.
That's where I saw the barrow, a Neolithic burial barrow in a paddock. And, you know, in Ireland, they've either got it sort of signposted and it's a bit of a big deal, or it's just there because everyone knows about it and it's in Murphy's paddock and Murphy doesn't want you to go there.
Or
whatever.
Murphy's at the pub.
Or Murphy's at the pub. But this is like, this is an old style burial, man, where it would have been a chieftain or someone important, and basically they bury them, you know, with their grave goods. That only lasts a couple of 100 years. And then there's dirt and stones, and they always have big standing stones that lean together over the door. I've only ever seen them in books. I saw one sitting in a paddock as we rode past. I slowed down and I thought, that's incredible. But it wasn't long before we saw a lot more of that stuff.
Well, what I will note about that part of the coastline when you start coming towards the east and down the east coast, it feels very different. Like it feels older. Like it's more, like I said, medieval. Like it's more, I don't know. Like it's when you're on the west coast and like you know, Silver Strand Beach, so you feel like you're on the edge of the earth, and it's like, no, there's no people, no nothing. This is kind of a bit more gentle coastline, but it's amazing. There's these ancient, you can see the houses are 300 or 400 years old, you know.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
It's different.
And you're riding right through the middle of it constantly. You know, there's just historical stuff everywhere. If you're into your history, it's so rich and so diverse and so... look, I run out of words trying to describe it.
That'd be a first, wouldn't it? You've run out of words.
I used to get paid by the word, mate. I'll still think of something to say, don't you worry. But essentially, this is what... There's a whole bunch of things that we lack in Australia that you find here that are inherent to our character as Australians. And you know, if you've travelled in Australia, you know Kilcavan, Killarney, you know, you've heard of Tralee, pretty much anything every second name in Australia is an Irish name. When you come to Ireland, you can see why. You know, these places are intense. There's the Irish influence in Australia from well before Ned Kelly all the way through has been super strong. And when you come here, you get a sense of heritage that is part of us too, but Ireland delivers it. Does that make sense?
Feels like home.
It just feels like home, yeah. Home that's radically different, but it's still part of who we are.
I caught a Uber today, and I was talking to the driver, and he goes, "Oh, you're Australian?" And I go, "Yeah." Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Oh,
he was great actually. And he goes, "You know, there's 5 million Irish people in Australia." And I go, "Bullshit. Yeah, there's only 30 million people in the country." How can they... And he goes, no, not born there. He goes...
Irish descendants.
Irish descendants. And I'm like, you're probably right.
Well, you go through your mates. How many Murphys do you know? Maloney's.
Yeah.
Kilkennys.
We've all got a bit of Irish in us.
Yes, all of us.
Probably, in Australia. Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, mate. And it's all the same. You know, even us original Scandinavian types, whatever.
You probably still got a bit of Murphy in you.
Hope not.
Or Murfette.
Murfette, all right. I don't want to talk about it.
Let's move
go
on.
somewhere else.
It's getting a bit weird now. We pulled into Belfast. And
yes.
we won't talk about that because we spoke about that in the last podcast, and we went pretty deep into
that was deep and meaningful though,
and we're all pretty pretty moved by the experience of being in Belfast and what we saw and learning about the history.
Nobody who went on one of those taxi rides will ever be the same again.
Yeah.
Simple. Anyway, move on.
Hunter, what would you come up here? What would you say about the black taxi there? You're a young bloke.
For government, even though he was elected in the exact same democratic process as 649 other members of that parliament, they wouldn't recognise this one. They wouldn't accept it. He continued the hunger strike and he died. 5 of them died in the Troubles and 2 of them died in Nazi prison. And as I said, there's as much hurt and pain on this side as there is on the other. Yes. And we're going to stop at one of the most devastating stories to come out of this neighbourhood. And it was the 23rd of October 1993. And the exact time is 6 minutes past 1. Look at the clock on the wall.
It's good.
It's good.
No, Hunter's a man of few words, and he's only 18. But what Hunter said to me, and we did it together with Kaz and Hunter, and our driver said he goes, "How old are you, Hunter?" And Hunter goes, "I'm 18." He goes, "When I was 17, I was walking home from school one day, and the coppers picked me up and threw me in prison for 7 years."
Yeah.
You know, I think that really hit home for him to go, "Shit, I'm really lucky." You know, so.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. You come out of there. He was my age. You come out of there thinking, God, thank heavens I was born in Australia.
Yeah. So it was a beautiful thing, and got to do it with you guys and my son. I nearly missed out. Lucky you guys had a spare seat on the tour van. So
yeah.
So a couple of nights in Belfast, we chilled out and caught up with Frankie's family, Barb's family. That was a real highlight for me. I got to meet Frankie's family. I heard so much about them.
And get that, like Barb is now going to a wedding in a couple of years. One of her cousin's kids. So she's coming back to Ireland. She's bringing Colin along next time, So
It's incredible.
These trips open up doors all over the place. They really do.
I don't
Make connections.
I don't know if we've got time, but there's the connection between me and Frankie and Barb. Like, you know, my dad used to run Harley Davidson tours on the Great Ocean Road in the 90s, and I didn't know Frankie then. She was only six. She was six, and I was probably 12. You know, and we found out that Frankie's mum did a Great Ocean Road Harley Davidson tour on the back of my dad, and we found the photos years later, and we're like, after we were working together for years, like, wow, look at this.
Look at this connection.
And then here we are in Ireland together. It's like, wow, what? You know, how does it work?
It's an adventurous spirit.
Yeah.
I reckon, and those people hang together, and that's what makes these trips too, because we're such a diverse bunch of people. You know, like, there are people from all walks of life on this trip, and yet the bonding is because of the love of motorcycles and the adventurous spirit, which are probably the same sort of thing anyway, really, aren't they?
Well, that's what brings us all together.
You don't ride a bike if you're a chook.
Yeah, and 99%, no, probably not 99%, probably 98% of people ride motorbikes are cool people.
Well, 99.5.
There are the Virago
I just thought
riders.
of someone.
Sorry.
Do you want to hear my theory? I just explained it to the boys that people who ride motorcycles are the warrior class. You know, we are the gods amongst men. We are the wolves amongst the sheep.
Men, just men, you say.
Hey?
What about the women?
And the women, men, women. That's a word that means nothing these days anyway. Ride a motorcycle, wow, up here. Everybody else, sheep.
I'm going home with a shetty.
Right, Frankie?
Good night. You love birds?
They never last long. They're all good people. Anyway.
We'll move on. But it was just incredible to be in the van with Barb and to think you were on the back of my dad's Harley 40 years ago.
That was kind of incredible,
30
you know?
years ago. You know?
that was just incredible. But what was also incredible was that Barb got the insider's look on what you do to organise these tours, you and Frankie, you know?
Yeah.
And so she could hear the communication. She told us, mate.
Last night, yeah.
She told us last night what was going on. I was pretty impressed because, you know, I thought support driver, you know, you just basically get to the pub as soon as you can and have a long lunch and, you know, have a bit of a snooze and wait for everyone to get there, you know? So you can tell them to get their luggage out of your van.
It's the most,
it's the
most important role on, you know, and I must admit I'm quite good at it. It's the most important role in the whole.
Has anyone got a paper bag?
Anyway, so
Even though our bags are an hour late, but
yeah, well, there you go.
Sometimes 2 hours early, and 2 hours and 3 pints early.
Yeah,
sometimes.
well, there you go.
Anyway, we're moving on from Belfast. We shot down the east coast, went inland, and pulled up Glendalough. A little, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a little, I don't know, in the bush, mountains, forest, crystal clear stream,
was that
waterfalls.
The monastery town?
Yeah.
Yeah, we told you about the monastery last time, but Glendalough itself, yeah, I don't know how you describe that either. Other than there'd been people living there, well, probably since Neolithic times, but you saw ruins from 600 AD, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, just to be out, like, just to see nature like that in Ireland, you know, there's a lot of forests, and, you know, like it was, you know, there was this beautiful stream running down the back of the hotel, and, you know, it's crystal clear, like, it was really cool. So, anyway.
That was a very cool place.
It was cool. We stayed there for a night, bit of, I think we all got a bit of energy back from that.
Yeah.
And then we headed inland again. Down, that was where Pete was talking about the lavender tunnel, the tunnel of love.
Oh, the tunnel of love.
And then we headed down towards Cork. We didn't stay in Cork because Cork's a bit hectic. So we stayed about 20 k's out and we stayed at Blarney.
Yep.
Right overlooking the Blarney Castle. And the Blarney, what do you call it? The Blarney...
Blarney Stone.
The Blarney Stone. I think that's what you kiss. But don't kiss it because apparently the locals say all the kids piss on it at night.
You told everyone that last time. We got the local guy in, bloke who owned the pub, for heaven's sake, And he came through, and the first thing you said to him, you'd had a couple, first thing you said to him, is it true that teenagers piss on the Blarney Stone? And he just looked devastated, mate. He just looked like he was going to drop in his tracks. He went, no, it's never happened, impossible, can't do it. He would have ruined his whole tourist gig thing if you'd mentioned that.
I didn't make it up.
And I can just say from the point of view of someone who maybe not as good at hunter as getting into places you're not supposed to be in.
This way. Yeah. Am I not supposed to be in here? Oh, I can get out, sorry.
I don't think you could get into that at night, that place, no way.
Well, that's what I got told. So I'm only relaying. I can only give you the information,
Matters,
Mr. Rooter.
man who destroys bloody, I don't know.
So from there, there was a game of hurling on. It was the semi-finals, Cork versus Waterford.
Yeah, that's right.
The pubs were cranking as a public holiday the next day. It was all going off. And if you haven't seen a game of hurling, I highly recommend it. It's a cross between hockey, AFL, soccer, basketball, tennis, and surfing.
They reckon it's the fastest game in the world. And I don't know. I've never seen ice hockey, but I reckon hurling.
I've got my red Cork jersey. I'm down with that.
All right,
I might have a corporate box next year.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I might have to come again because I'd love to see that.
So from Blarney, where did we go? Dingle.
So Kaz and I are trying to work out where we were. Was it Dingle or Derry or Dingleberry?
Well, we went via...
You know what I mean?
What's a dingleberry?
Oh, I don't know.
I've heard that before. I don't know what it is.
I've heard you can knock them off a sheep's backside. But anyway, it's one of the most beautiful places on earth.
We went via the Ring of Kerry. So we went inland for the morning and we stopped at a little fishing village for lunch. And, it was funny because it was 11 o'clock in the morning, but it started getting cold. And I was in the van and I rocked up, I'm all right. And I walk in, the power couple, double shot Dino and Nikki, are drinking a pint of Guinness. And I looked at my watch. I don't have a watch. I looked at my phone and I went, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. They go, we're freezing. We're having fun, but we're cold. A lot of people say to me, they go, we do adventure bike tours. But why do you do Ireland? Yeah. You get it now, don't you?
Oh, I totally get it.
It is an adventure.
It's an immense adventure.
Until you see it and ride it, I can't explain it to people.
It's an adventure with so many more layers too, The history angle, I mean, that just does it for me constantly. But the rocks, the rock piling, as someone who kind of spent a lot of time digging holes in the ground, I love rocks and I love watching the way people have been repiling rocks here forever.
We're in Dingle.
We're in Dingle.
Dingle, what a beautiful town. Like, it has to be one of the most beautiful towns on the planet. Like, I liken it to, if you've ever been to Port Fairy in Victoria, but on massive steroids,
again and again
old
and again.
fishing village but it's bigger and just beautiful shops, colourful buildings, pubs, more pubs than you can poke a stick at.
Because all these places were built before cars originally, like a long time before cars, they're narrow streets and all the rest of it, but they're built to walk everywhere. And then they're built with cold weather in mind. And so it's a bit like terrace houses in old parts of Sydney and stuff like that. But they line the streets, and then because it might be, almost half a mile, they whack another pub in. So you can just duck in and have a drink on your way and duck in and, two-storey places, different colours, different timber treatments, everything else. Very much the same architecture.
So that night, one of my fondest memories of this trip was we headed, what was that pub we went to, Frankie? You might remember it, where we was all sitting there and singing the sea shanties. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, Dick.
Thank you,
Dick
mate.
Max. Dick Max. It's a famous pub. This is the most incredible bar with knickknacks all over it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's 1,000 years old. It's pokey. And you're like, what the hell is going on in here? Next minute, we found a table. All the crew's rocked up. And we're drinking pints of Guinness and singing sea shanties.
With a rusty razor early in the morning.
Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him.
Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Early in the morning.
And up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, early in the morning.
Hold on to.
Shanties. And I just love that. Like, I just loved it. Everyone was getting into it, you know, even Bob. Bob doesn't even drink. He's got his zero Heineken.
No.
And he's singing along like a pirate, having a good time.
You should make a point about that, you know, like, we drink. It's not compulsory to drink, you know.
half the trick.
Matt quite often has a night off the booze. You know, I saw him once about 4 or 5 years ago, and me too. You know, like I tend to crank on a bit at the end of a day's riding because I love it. But then I'll have something to eat and just sit there and drink water and laugh with everybody else.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is, you know, Bob is a prime example. Bob's here because Bob is having the best time of his life on a motorcycle. You know, he's got one of those 450 Enfields. He's got it cranked out because of the red tag system. You know, you leave Bob on a corner, next thing you know, he's passing you, he's off and away, and then there he is on another corner. I'm sure he never exceeds the speed limit, but he's just having a great time. When he goes, he's always smiling.
He's a gentleman. Like he said, I met him about a year ago, and he was looking at doing a tour, and I managed to convince. He was sitting on the fence. I managed to convince him. I said, you know, and he booked it. And he goes, Matt, he pulled me up halfway through the trip. He goes, if I went home now, he goes, it's exceeded my expectations by 1,000 times. He goes, I am so happy. He goes, I ride by myself all the time.
Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't realise how much fun it is going with a group like this. like, you know, and I get it, you know. I'm a bit like him. I like to ride by myself.
Yeah, me too.
But it's way more fun with you animals.
Hang on.
All right.
I've got to talk about there's been a lot of hot spots, but in the morning it was raining.
I was about to get to that.
Okay, sorry.
It's all right, you go.
No, you go.
Slea Head in the morning.
Slea Head.
So it's a loop you do out of Dingle and you come back to Dingle. Tell me about it.
All right.
Tell us about it.
It's 40 Ks. Took us about an hour and a half because it's all hairpins, and we stopped. I probably held everyone up because I had Karen on the back, and every time I saw something that I wanted to have a bit of a look at, I slowed down. And for me, that 40K loop was like the epitome of everything that Ireland is, and then some. Was just insane because, to begin with, there's stone fences everywhere. You know, you get that in Ireland, but then there was an Iron Age fort. You know, that's going back to sort of Roman times. There was what they call famine cottages. And as you probably know, in the 18th century, the Irish had a potato famine. Terrible. It caused, 1795 through, it caused people just to flee Ireland because they couldn't eat. A lot of them didn't. They went to places like Slea Head where they could fish for a living, and they built themselves little hovels, dirt floor hovels out of rocks. They're still there. There was standing stones, there was stuff from the Druid years, there was a castle, there was everything. You could see the whole progression of mankind in this one circuit, and it was really intense. I mean, yeah,
incredible.
I'm a bit blown away.
I just had deja vu down my, you know, like it was bizarre just listening to
just
that.
Just incredible. It was mankind's history, it really was.
And this is why we bring John with us, because you are so good at telling it how it is.
Yeah, I know, but it used to be wandering around a deserted farmhouse somewhere out in the outback and going, okay, so this was built in the 1930s because you can see that, and this happened here and that happened there, and then it all blew away in the 60s in the big drought. I know how to interpret things in Australia. When you come here, you've got to whack a different box on your head because you're not looking at a couple of hundred years or even, 40,000 years of our Indigenous heritage. You're not looking at that here. You're looking at the progression of mankind from people who lived in holes in the ground with rocks over the top to people who learned about windows but had wooden shutters to people who lived in castles. Everything is here. It's just...
It feels like the cradle of civilization.
Well, yeah, you can have Egypt.
Yeah,
really.
no, it feels like that
They
here.
did one thing well for 3,000 years. Over here, you can see the development.
So from there, we went back to drop the bikes off in Ardare and check into the Dunraven Arms last night. And then we went across the road.
Now I know how Princess Di feels. Actually, she's probably a bit dead. But
Sorry to interrupt.
talking about Princess Di,
Get in.
You're on the Geelong topic. I just had to
Get in. Another Geelong boy.
They got me off 6 months early to help me get away, and I got a passport. And thanks Geelong, Australia. It's all about Ireland, but if you didn't help me out there, Nicky, I wouldn't have been able to get here. And
Do you know the parole officer's name? Nicky.
yeah.
Thanks, Nicky.
6 months early, I broke a record. I'm off. And I got a passport.
Told you about him.
Yeah, baby.
And he's coming to Patagonia at some stage in the future. You want to book a trip with that bloke.
yeah. Look, you're gonna love it.
The parole officer.
The parole officer.
Where did that come from? He's a wild man.
I always thought he looked good behind a bar.
At a hens party in the background. You can't make this shit up.
You can't. You want to turn your life right up? Come on one of these trips.
You meet some cool people. But like Big Al, he's a bit loose, but like what a gentleman. He's the first one to help you with the bags, to help open the door for the ladies. He'll throw his jacket on the ground if there's a puddle for
And
the
if
girls
that
to
doesn't
walk
work,
past.
he'll pull the door off and throw that down on the ground, and the ladies can walk over
He
that.
is a gentleman.
He is.
And I love
Total
him.
gentleman.
So, so we pulled in there. We went and had our last night celebration at the pub across the road.
Hey, no, wait on. Come back to, what's it called?
The Dunraven Arms.
Dunraven Arms, right? Like, it's massive. I have never
that's right,
stayed in... you'd sort of call it a motel, but it's not. It's the rooms were bigger than your house. Okay, I haven't seen your house, but I know they're bigger than mine. The bathroom was just massive. It had 2 doors in it, So, like, if one of you's a bit on the nose, you can shut off up the other end. Princess Di stayed there. Prince Rainier from Monaco and his wife Grace Kelly, have you heard of them? So that's 1950s, they stayed there with their kids. What's the name, the one that rides horses? Prince Anne. She stayed there. They got a glory wall on the corridor.
The glory what?
Glory wall.
Okay, just checking.
I think that's what you'd call it. I'm not really sure on that.
I don't know what that is.
Well, you just walk along and you go, look at all these people who've stayed there, and then you get your texter and you write, Big Al stayed here.
Did you do that? Probably did too. Hey, Al deserves to have a photo up there.
Yeah, I reckon. We all do, actually.
Just to look at... We need to get... he doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't like the spotlight.
So, if you haven't quite nabbed onto the Nevermind experience, we might do it tough during the day, but at night we tend to pick awesome places. And the breakfasts all through the trip have been awesome. The Dunraven was one of the best. Now, think about, waiters with waistcoats and little black ties and waitresses in long gowns and white shirts and this beautiful buffet laid out, sausages and eggs any way you want them, different types of pie, everything, that you'd expect in a top-class buffet. They even had sliced ham. They had a great big bone of ham about this big, and then Al comes in for breakfast and he sees the ham and he picks it up and puts it on his plate. The whole ham. and the guy, the maitre d' or whatever they call him, the nicest guy on earth, and he's come over and he, excuse me, sir, would you like me to slice you some of that? No, I'll be right, mate. Well, no, actually, sir, we'd appreciate leaving some of that for the other guests. But I reckon if Al hadn't been such a nice, polite bloke, he probably would have just let him. You know, they could have. If he'd have taken it, they just would have got another one. You know, it was awesome.
I missed that.
Did you miss it?
I wish I was there.
Oh, mate.
I missed it.
Obviously,
But I'm playing it over in my mind, and I'm like, I wish I was there.
Oh, you know.
And didn't we have a great night? The award ceremony.
Oh.
I probably spoke a little bit too much,
Did
got a bit
everything
too
right,
vocal.
and we got it over the line, you know. And I think fair to say this person's because everyone got an award here, but there's one person that didn't, and there's a special reason for that. It's because we don't like him very much. But no, it's not because it's stuck to the back of someone else's. And Woody, I'm really sorry. You know, a few pints, but it's my time to shine. You know, I see that last night of the trip.
Yeah.
I've been cooped up in that van, missed out on all the fun, and I was like, right, I'm having a couple of pints, and I'm just going to pay out on everyone tonight. And didn't
You're pretty good at it, mate.
Yeah, I know.
You're pretty good.
I am pretty good at it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emotions, actually. Frankie cried.
Yeah. And she wasn't.
Context there.
She wasn't the only one, you know. If you want to see the intensity, you don't see this intensity of emotion in a cruise ship holiday or some other. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, roll on, eat a lot, roll off. A bus tour, you know, all the excitement of seeing the bus going up and down. You come on one of these trips, by the time you've done a couple of weeks with like-minded souls having the biggest adventure of your life, with a bit of danger thrown in, you're riding bikes, the best accommodation around, the contrast of a cold day in the rain followed by a luxurious hotel room, the best accommodation in town.
Or a hot day on the beach in the sun.
Oh, I never saw a hot day, but a warm day on the beach in the sun. Yeah,
Well, for me it was hot.
Yeah, I know, Geelong. The whole...
Best town on earth.
People were very emotional by that last night, and pretty much everybody wanted to get up and give a speech about how great the support
Everyone did.
driver was.
Everything I love is I get to meet people one-on-one rather than just like, you know, he might have 70,000 YouTube followers, but he enjoys this. He gets to know you guys one-on-one and spend time with you guys and myself and all that. And that really blew me away. I was like, no way, why? You know, like, you got heaps of mates.
I know it starts with a love of motorbikes and a love of adventure, you know, and an ability to have a go at something that's not that easy. You put all that together, and somehow, even though we all came from different backgrounds, we all found a real strong common ground. And that is just bloody marvellous. You know, I don't know about you, but this couple of weeks of my life will be something unique that I will never ever forget. And that goes for all of you too.
Thanks, But anyway,
you should be here.
And here we are in Dublin at the end of the trip, and we're all about to part ways, and there's going to be more tears shed, and we've made some of the best friends we could ever, local and the guys on the trip, you know. So, I mean, what more? I don't know. What more can you ask for in life? He's got his patches. They're Rajasthani ones. So all I'll say is we'll wrap it up. This has probably gone on way too long. It's probably, you know, not that exciting. I hope you guys got a lot of laughs out of it. But Ireland is up there with as good as any adventure we do. I love it. It's my favourite. Oh, Patagonia is my other favourite.
They've all been my favourites.
Sri Lanka's my favourite as well. Rajasthan's my favourite.
Oh, all right.
That.
On you, mate.
So come and ride with Matt, Roothy, Big Al, Hunter, Kaz, Pete and Woody. You know, we'll all be doing this again soon.
And a big thanks to Frankie.
Frankie.
Who runs the show.
Frankie, without Frankie, nothing works. And it's just been an amazing experience. And thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
For fucking everything.
On you, brother.
Watch that shoulder, broken wing.
Oh, that's right. Keep grabbing it.
No, thank you.
Found it.
Sorry, just tell the story about how you thought a man stole your bloody. You just blamed an old man from.
Yeah, well, look, I was blaming someone because it literally disappeared. And this is 2 towns ago. What, have you got a second helmet? That somebody has brought it 2 towns, hidden it in the wrong helmet.
But you're happy, aren't you?
Is there any ghosts in Ireland? You reckon it might be a ghost?
It's the witches, mate. The witches.